Welcome, beloved anointed ones. Stop. Listen. Your peace is louder than their chaos, and tonight we are going to prove it. You used to fill every room you entered. You joked, you fixed, you comforted, you carried, you felt needed, until the day you realized you were only being drained. That shift was quiet. No fireworks, no final fight. Just the split-second clarity that your soul was worth more than applause from the wrong crowd. You chose peace. It looked simple on the surface, maybe even cowardly to those who never learned silence, but inside it thundered like a revolution. You walked away. You shut doors that once swung wide open just because someone else needed a stage. You stopped answering calls that always ended with you feeling smaller. They called it a phase. They blamed a new hobby, a new friend, even a new moon. Anything but the truth. You were done trading your light for their darkness. At first it hurt. Let's be honest about that. There were nights when the phone glowed and you stared at the ceiling wondering if peace was worth the loneliness. Memories hit hard. Late-night laughter, inside jokes, the feeling of belonging. But every memory sat beside a cost, exhaustion, guilt, the slow leak of self-respect that nobody else seemed to notice. So you stayed committed. You filled the quiet with healthier noise. Books that challenged you, walks that steadied you, prayers that felt like inhaling clean air after a storm. You discovered how loud your own heart could beat when it wasn't competing with demands that never ended. Meanwhile, on the other side of the line you cut. Confusion grew. They thought you'd cave. They expected you to return once their silence felt like punishment. But you didn't. Days stretched into weeks, weeks into seasons. Life without you lost its sparkle. The energy you poured into them had been their invisible battery. Suddenly, they felt the drain you used to carry. They scrolled through photos where your smile had anchored the entire frame. They tried new faces, new jokes, new distractions. Yet every gathering felt flat. Because your presence was more than laughter. It was steady ground beneath their chaos. They never saw it until it disappeared. Now they sit with that emptiness. They look at their victories and wonder why each one feels hollow. They post about their success but delete the app 5 minutes later because applause on a screen can't replace the warmth you used to bring through a single genuine question. How are you holding up? Understand this. Your peace is powerful. When you step back, you didn't vanish. You became a mirror. In that mirror, they now see the truth they avoided. Their joy depended on draining someone else's. That realization stings, and yes, some will lash out. They might call you selfish. They might rewrite history. Hold your ground. You don't owe them an explanation for healing. Choosing peace is not abandoning love. You still care. You still pray for their growth. You simply refuse to be a life raft for those who puncture holes in every rescue boat. Look at you now. Your mornings start without dread. Coffee tastes richer. Silence sings. You notice details you once rushed past. The way sunlight creeps across your desk, the rhythm of your own breathing, your name whispered in prayer. Friends who honor your boundaries begin to appear. Some are new, some were always near, but could never find room beside the noise. With them, conversation feels like fresh water, no undercurrent pulling you under. There is laughter again, but it doesn't leave you tired. There are tears, but you're not the only one offering tissues. Every time you say no to chaos, you say yes to purpose. And purpose, for a chosen one, is non-negotiable. You aren't here to be everyone's power outlet. You are here to light specific paths, to carry messages that heal, to craft answers carved from experience and backbone. Maybe you still feel guilt. That's normal. Guilt is a ghost, real enough to haunt, powerless once you face it. Look it in the eye tonight. Say, I released what was killing my spirit. That's not cruelty, that's clarity. While they sit stunned by the void you left, you stand free in the space you gained. Your peace has grown roots. It anchors new dreams, projects you postponed, skills you ignored, prayers you whispered only at 2 a.m. when nobody could laugh at them. Now you bring those dreams into daylight. You write, you build, you mentor, you rest. Watch what happens next. Rumors will circulate about your glow. Some will want to return, claiming they always believed in your potential. Test their fruit, not their words. Peace has taught you that you can love people without letting them live in your bloodstream. Keep doors open for reconciliation, but keep your foundation guarded. Walls are not prisons. They are property lines that protect gardens still growing. If regret visits you, remember where it leads. Regret will drag you back to crowded rooms, where your value was measured in how quietly you bled for loud egos. You left that currency behind. Your new economy trades in time well spent, prayers well spoken, rest well earned. This is your divine assignment. Guard your peace and let its overflow water the right souls. You are not bitter. You are better. And better is intimidating to those who profit from imbalance. Their shock is not your problem to solve. Their emptiness is an invitation for them to find their own source. Let them search. Let them grow. You keep moving. Feel that steady hum in your chest? That's confirmation. Every heartbeat is a drum declaring you chose correctly. So what now? Now you nurture the calm you fought to secure. You turn that energy inward, then outward toward purpose. Feed a vision, encourage a stranger, design a life that matches your calling. You pray over each step, not for approval, but for guidance. You stay humble, alert, and ready. One day, they may thank you for the distance. Until then, let your life preach. Silence is a sermon too, and your joy, quiet, solid, unshakable, will speak louder than 1,000 explanations. Take a breath. Feel the difference between emptiness and space. Emptiness drains. Space hosts miracles. You have space now. Fill it wisely. If this message stirred something in you, act. Reach out to one person who respects your boundaries and build deeper roots. Journal the promise you made to yourself. I will protect my peace because my purpose depends on it. Share this video with another soul who might be standing at the edge of the same decision. Subscribe because together we prove that choosing peace is not retreat. It is strategic advance. Remember, the world that once drained you will one day study you, not out of spite, but out of awe. You walked away so you could rise, and in rising you became the evidence that wholeness is possible. Carry that evidence everywhere. Speak less, shine more. Let peace be your loudest reply. Peace is not a finish line. It is a living system that needs fuel, maintenance, and regular upgrades. Each morning you choose it again, before your feet hit the floor, before messages flood your screen, before yesterday's drama tries to sneak back in with a polite good morning notification. Start by naming your priorities out loud. When you speak them, they become anchors. Say, I will not chase validation. Say, I will protect the quiet that keeps my mind clear. Say, I will serve the mission that beats in my chest even when no one else understands it. Your voice, steady and unapologetic, programs your day the way code programs an app. Then guard the gateways. Your eyes, your ears, your inbox, your feed. Each one is a door. Everything you let in rewrites a line of your internal script. If a headline spikes your anxiety, mute it. If a conversation circles back to gossip, exit it. Every act of refusal trains your nervous system to value calm over chaos. You'll notice something unexpected. Time stretches. What once felt like a frantic sprint turns into open road. Ideas arrive. Creative sparks flicker. You read a chapter without rereading the same line 10 times. You cook a meal and taste every spice because your brain isn't split between worries. That clarity fuels courage. With courage comes new invitations, some worthy, some not. Success has echo, and echo attracts both allies and opportunists. Measure each request against your peace meter. If the thought of saying yes squeezes your lungs, say no. If it expands your chest like fresh air, give a wholehearted yes and move. Remember, bold boundaries confuse people still operating on old versions of you. They will test the fence. They might send nostalgia packages, labeled urgent. They might remind you of birthdays, anniversaries, inside jokes, anything to trigger the caretaker instinct you retired. Acknowledge the memories, honor the good times, but do not reopen contracts that paid you in fatigue. You can wish them well without re-entering the arena. Channel the energy you save into service that matters. Mentor someone who mirrors your younger doubts. Fund a project that aligns with your core values. Create content that puts vocabulary to feelings other people buried. When you invest in purpose, every hour returns multiplied, like planting seeds in soil already rich with lessons you bled to learn. Some nights, you'll still feel the phantom ache of friendships gone. Sit with it, but don't pitch a tent there. Grief is a visitor, not a landlord. Offer it tea, listen to its story, then escort it to the door. Peace reclaims the room the moment grief leaves.